Well, we are live and no one is viewing. No one's waiting. Gonna be another one of them nights, I guess.
Oh boy.
And still don't know where the hell. I ain't heard from Morris since I talked to him last Thursday. I think he was starting a new job this week.
Got ya.
But he still needs to find some time to get on the server because he's gonna get his ass behind. Because here in about 10 minutes, I'm probably gonna when it starts getting dark, I'm gonna sleep through the night, and we'll be on the third week of September, on our 4 week seasons.
Right.
Okay,
I don't know if I
put that
got.
into here. So looks like Kobe's streaming. Got two watching. He's streaming Madden FNFL. Is he,
Who is?
it's Kobe. He must be doing
Oh.
doing the Super Bowl thing. Hmm. Trucker Matsy's streaming, and it looks like Yip De Doo Farmer Klein's streaming. Otherwise, I don't see anybody streaming besides me.
Gotcha.
Oh, come on, where's my live? There it is. Oh, chat filter, all messages. And I better turn that down so it ain't reverberating in my phone.
Well, I thought I would leave my like nothing running streaming in the background. See if
Everything,
that helped. That thing it ran smooth. You know, I got off and now I'm back on. It's all jerky and
it's because I'm on. I swear to God. I'll be talking to you in
I don't
here,
get
won't
it.
have logged in, and as soon as I log in, it seems like you have trouble.
Because I mean I've been well, I don't know if you've seen, but I've been on here for probably 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, you were.
And
I'd,
once in a while, you get like a little spot, and that might even have been the server saving,
yeah, it
but it wasn't
saves.
bad.
It's supposed to save every
You know,
30 minutes, and it'll
oh shit.
it'll slow you down. I had it set so it's supposed to save every hour, but it doesn't work. It doesn't recognize that even when you put it in there. It's something different. Anyway, we'll get these peas. I finally got my frickin'. Actually, you don't need to go that way. Finally got my grain bin thing edited so it takes the added crops.
Oh, got ya.
I thought
So
I'd.
do I need to get rid of the one I got, change it out, or are you just making sure yours is
No,
good,
I got
or
the first one I got done and actually worked is one that Morris has. The one you have isn't a productions chain, so it works anyway. It works with whatever's on the
oh,
map because
that's right.
it's scripted for all regular grain bins
I
and
forgot. Mine
are
doesn't have a dryer even. Yeah, that's right. That's
right.
right.
It's got so it's already it's called bulk something or another, bulk grain bin or something in the XML, so it don't have to be. For these, they have to. And what the fuck did you go clear through there for, stupid? Oh, you
I
dumbass.
don't I don't think these Moss trillers will use combine courseplay either.
What?
I can't get the courseplay combine unload to work with these Moss trailers. Just sits. I didn't buy another one and try it, but I've done it with
It's
the
because
silage boss once before.
you need to use with courseplay. You probably need to use auto
Yeah.
drive.
Well, I always use course play combine, and
Well,
it
right,
follows it around.
and then
How do I do auto drive to follow the combine,
just tell it to.
the harvester? Oh, instead of having the dump section, you can hit it to combine, can't you?
Yeah. See,
That's what it is.
unload, and then tell it where you want it to unload.
Let me.
And then the point thing, the field has to be the same as the combine. It's got to have the same field, and then it should auto detect it. And then you just tell it where you want it to unload. You might. I don't know how well it works.
And that's what I have it at right now. So let's see. Come around behind it. Try again.
And remember, these fields don't have that course around the outside of them, so that might be part of the issue.
Right.
I don't know. Like Kadur, he uses course plays, unload and stuff. I never do. Hey, Chad at CBW, how are you, buddy? You're finally warming up out there in Iowa. We had a little. Did you get any snow out of that last weekend there? We had rain, 3rd of February, and we had rain. It was weird. It was been actually pretty nice. Yesterday, today was 50s. Wasn't the 60s we had last week, but working on taxes. I took the day off today to do the same thing. I did my taxes last Friday, and they got rejected because of this new 1095 thing that if you have the marketplace health insurance, and I signed up for it, but I didn't get approved for it until January. So I was befuddled of why I got it rejected. So of course I spent the day on the phone because I use Intuit TurboTax for doing all my taxes and doing it myself. I've been doing it for years and never had any issues. Where I'm divorced, I get to claim my daughter every other year, and that's what we decided as far as our divorce thing. Wife gets to collect it 1 year, the next year I get to claim her. So this year was the year I get to claim her. And so I called the phone number, did the website thing first because I figured, well, that's the easiest thing to do, you know. And I couldn't get nowhere with that stupid thing. It kept saying, oh, you're not in here and all this other stuff. And I'm going, okay, well, and that's what I thought. I thought to myself, I'm like, well, there's good thing. I probably don't have to claim this 1095. And then I'd not been, I'm one of them that go to the post office because I get mail about one piece of mail every 2 weeks. And then, of course, I get my Successful Farming magazine, monthly. But so I'm pretty bad about getting my snail mail because there usually ain't crap in there. A few bills here once in a while, but most of them still get paid online. I get my notices for them in my email, but I still request a paper trail. So when it comes to snail mail, I don't go get it very often. So this post office has probably been wondering what the hell's going on because I've been getting my mail every night ever since last Wednesday night or Thursday night when the whole rejection thing happened, and which hasn't, it was full the first night, of course, and then ever since there's been like one thing in there. It's all junk mail, but and I never did get this 1095A form that we're supposed to have gotten by the end of the month, end of January. So anyway, I farted around with that deal, and there's an option in there that you can click that says you didn't get it, and I thought, just sure as shit I figure out exactly what the hell's going on here because I did sign up for it. It just wasn't okay until January, so I thought maybe that was their conundrum there. So when I called the one gal, she says, well, you shouldn't be having to worry about a 1095 because you didn't. It says here, it shows that you didn't qualify till January. And I said, well, that's what my policy says. It says it didn't start till the 1st of January 2024, so that should be next year's taxes I have to worry about. She goes, well, that should be. So I farted around today, calling other off and on people, and then finally got a hold of somebody else, and they went, well, do you have somebody else that you're claiming as a dependent? I go, yeah, I'm claiming my daughter this year. And they go, is she is signed up for that? And of course the light bulb went on. Well, I don't think so. Her mom hasn't said anything to me about it. But that doesn't mean that she hasn't been. So anyway, I text the OX and say, hey, is Tori on Marketplace for the healthcare? Oh, yeah, yeah, she is. Well, would you mind sending me her 1095 information? So I'm glad I didn't click that I have not received it in the mail thing, because that probably would have been a red flag, and I'd have got the goddamn phone call from IRS, and my refund would have been delayed that much longer. And so anyway, I'm glad I got it all figured out, but that's what I ended up doing today. I took the day off, didn't go to work because of that. Yeah, there you go. You should claim the dogs, and you should claim the pigs and the cats, and hell, as far as I'm concerned, you can claim your weeds in the fields too. So uh, I'm pretty sure when it comes to taxes for you, Chad, being you're more involved in the farm than as opposed to me just being a foreman and working for one, it's probably a lot more intensive. I know when I was still married and we had our acreage, and it was 1.1 and a half acres bigger than what it was required to claim it as a small farm. So that's what we ended up doing. Instead of just an acreage, we claimed it as a small farm because we qualified. So of course, when that's the case, yeah, when it comes to taxes, you want to show that you lost as goddamn much money as you can. You know, you don't want to ever show a profit. So we was always keeping all of, itemized everything, all of our expenses, everything else, and even cheated a little. And her mom would send us a bill once in a while for something that, even though she didn't really get paid for it, so we had a paper trail. So anyhow, when it comes to doing taxes, when for you and other farmers and that kind of stuff, it's a pain in the ass, I'm sure. But I'm just glad that I was able to figure out my deal. I was worried because I'm like, man, I don't want to screw it. When it comes to IRS, you don't want them on your bad side. You know, they can make your life a living hell. Inspection now complete. 0 damages were found, giving you a total of 4 damages. I'm not so sure I should have added this goddamn mod. By the way, just so you know, Matt, when you buy used equipment with this mod, you need to make sure you get them inspected, because when they're used, they're partly used, So I went,
Yeah.
I
I was
went.
gonna ask you, where the heck is that thing at in the
It's
shop? Where do you find it?
it's in it's in. Come on, Jesus! It's in the
Oh,
objects.
it's in pallets.
It's in pallets, and it's the one right here
Pallets, or
where it says servicing.
I just remembered it was in pallets.
So you buy it, and then you set it in your shop, or it's portable. You can even put it in the back of a vehicle or on a flatbed or whatever out in the field, and you can still do your thing. And then when you have it, and you're standing by it's control J. Is that what it is when you're sitting in this? You've
Yeah.
got to be sitting in a stupid thing, I think, maybe. Control J. There. So it says total, and so I was wondering how that worked when you bought stuff from used from the marketplace, or tractor house. It works with that. It says it's got 4 damages that need to be repaired. So
This thing is all
yeah.
being stupid now.
So in other words, tomorrow night's when you really start pulling your hair out, right, Chad? uh, Glad you're here. Welcome to the stream. I didn't stream Saturday night because I was working on. I was pulling my hair out myself. So it wasn't because of the taxes. I'd kind of given up on that deal until, well, today, because I could during the day make my phone calls. I'm just glad I got it figured out. Ended up getting another $360 out of this stupid thing. So just shy of 9 grand is what I get back. I love the years I get to claim my daughter. Well, I love the years I get to claim my daughter and the Democrats are in power when it comes to that part of it. Republicans, when they're in power, you don't get near as much tax breaks, doesn't seem like, but we also don't have a bunch of stupid other dumb mandates going on. So let's see, I need to do. There's 4 damages. So how's this thing start? Because when I was, yeah, every little bit does, especially by today's little standards of what cost of living is and inflation is. And I did hear rumblings that they might actually leave the fucking interest rate alone this go round. I won't not going to drop it, but they're not going to raise it at least. Well, it started right up.
You you have to get out of your vehicle and make that work.
No, I think you have to be in it. I don't think. Yeah, I thought I could have swore to God when I watched Farm Sim Guy the other day that if you went Alt J while you stand up, nope, you got to be in the vehicle. So it's you got to be sitting in the vehicle in order to get the thing to work. So I suppose
Oh,
before,
Control J.
yeah, I
Control J.
suppose before I do anything, we just will get these damn things paid. 9 o'clock tomorrow. All right, repair damages. Yes, start anyway. That way we
Why?
get that thing done. I picked it up pretty cheap. I think I only paid 50 grand for an 85 or 8330. Not
Do I inspect it first anyway?
well. If it's something used, what I did on mine, just kind of farting around the mod, trying to get used to it. After I bought this, because as soon as I got into it and did the Alt J thing, it showed it already had four things because I bought it used, of course. So
Right.
I thought, well, because he showed one the other day when I watched that tutorial of his, or when he was using it.
Yeah.
You know, he had one that had a couple deals on it, and he did the inspection thing, and they found a couple more. So that's why I went ahead and did it.
That. Yeah, I just did an inspection too. It says it takes an hour, so
Right. So
I just want to make sure I get to the repair part before you fast forward night time sleep.
okay.
Because right now it's doing an inspection for an hour.
Right.
Then I can do my repair, and then when you forward time, it will be fixed instead of having to wait again.
Well, I'm hoping I'll actually get some wheat planted to tonight. But I got lime I got to get spread first, so
So,
then we're
did you
gonna.
get the calendar thing figured out?
I did get the calendar thing figured out. But that fucking map is still. I had almost all of them done last night, farting around with it again because I thought, well, when I got on here the other night and was doing the fuel stupid weird thing, well, obviously something went right copacetic with my base game. So I thought maybe that was part of what was throwing off the goddamn growth thing that I was messing with on the map, and it was. It must have been because I went through and changed a bunch of stuff in the growth and got them where I wanted between 3 or 4 different deals. And I thought, man, I got this sucker whipped. So then I started doing more shit, and then it went right back to its throwing a fit when it won't load past 60% because something to do with and every time it does it, it's a goddamn alfalfa texture thing weird. Something I ain't even fucking with either. Because what I was wanting to mess with, and I got the growth things to working like I wanted to. It was all about, you know, so I got all the growth things fixed on the growth calendars. Well, I can have spring wheat, and I did some research. Barley and wheat and rye is planted in the spring, and you can plant them in the fall. Rye can also be planted in the fall, and like this map's got rye set up so it's only spring. So I was
Got
trying
it.
to. That's what I was doing before. I could get and then canola. I don't want canola planted in the fall. You don't plant canola in the fall. I want that planted in the spring. So I changed the canola thing and it'd work. I changed the wheat thing and I could get it to work. And as soon as I started before, and I'd go, okay, so I'm changing the rye, and in millet's another one that you don't plant that shit in the frickin' fall either. It's a spring millet and sorghum. So I want millet's real similar to sorghum. So I was trying to get it set up so it was like sorghum. And of course, I got the carrots and the onions, you know, deleted out where in XMLs where it ignores them. They're still there, they're just ignored. So that's gone. So I got all that done. Hey Ace, hey Kobe, how's everybody doing? I thought you were You were live streaming Madden NFL there, Kobe. I thought you were. You recreating the Super Bowl over there? Who's going to win? What's everybody's prediction on the winners? Because I'm kind of pissed off because Detroit fucking fell on their face in the last bit of their couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
me too.
But I guess if you're going to lose, lose by 3. I mean, that was a good game. More than I can say for the
Right.
goddamn freaking Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs. I'm over them winning everything. Just like I was over the Patriots when they were winning everything. So I don't know who to root for between the Chiefs and San Francisco. I can't stand. More likely, most likely, I'm rooting for 49ers because I can't stand the Chiefs. So that's pretty much self-explanatory there.
Right.
But anyway, welcome to the stream, everybody. And like I said, I didn't stream Saturday night because I was working on that map, and I kept having issues. I get one or two of these changed, everything was fine, and then I go to change the third one, and it wouldn't load past 60% when I was checking it, and it gave me some weird error about the alfalfa texture, and I hadn't been messing with the alfalfa. Nothing. I wasn't even changing the growth calendar on the alfalfa. So then went to log, got mad at it, and Matt was on, so I thought, I'm gonna get on a server for a little bit, and I got on the server, and then I was doing weird shit on the server, so I had changed a couple in-game files, texture files, and evidently it did something else. So Ace D, Lions. I wish Ace. I was rooting for him. I've always liked the Lions. I've been a Lions fan since the '80s when Barry Sanders was there. God, I used to love watch that guy run. Oh man, he was exciting to watch run. I don't think we've had a running back since then and that would keep you on your toes. I mean, Emmett Smith was good. Don't get me bad, and Thurman Thomas was good, and all those guys were good. Don't get me wrong, but they just weren't. Walter Payton. He was pretty damn good running back, but you don't see that juke and jiving with the running backs like you did with Barry Sanders. You don't see that 4 or 5 guys and him in the middle of the pile, and next thing you know, he squirts out the bottom of the son of a bitch running, and no one's there. I mean, you don't see that
Yep.
as much anymore when it comes to running backs.
No. That
So
Jamar Gibbs is pretty good that the Lions got though.
yeah, well, yeah,
He's got some good. He burned a lot of guys, juking and he's a power runner too. But yeah, nobody's like Barry.
and Barry, I still think Barry retired before his time. I think he had a few more years left, but I think he was also how many years did he play for Lions and they didn't build a team around him? I mean, they
Yeah, I can't imagine the beating that he took.
I always thought, man, if you guys
Because I
actually
mean,
had a decent fucking line and he could actually do the juking and jiving at the linebacker and safety level, Jesus, that guy'd never be touched.
right?
So anyway, that's what was going on about Saturday. Next thing I know, it's fucking 7:30, and I'm going, oh shit. So that's why I didn't end up uh, doing anything Saturday as far as a live stream. I thought about doing a short one on Sunday, and I was working on the damn map all over again, trying to figure out. And I got it to work better, right? So I got all the stupid the growth cycles right the way I wanted them, where most of them should be, and I was happy. I got a spring wheat and I got a spring barley put in there, and got millet, so it wasn't planted in the fall. It's planted in the spring like it should be. And rye, I had it so it had a fall. You could grow it in the winter also. It's a winter crop. So I had all that done, and then the peas texture isn't right in here. It shows up like sunflowers or something. They didn't add the peas texture in this map right, so I went and did that. And then I also went ahead and I added some folders for uh, lentils and buckwheat and something else. Um, Mustard and flax, because I would like to add, get like where I'm getting rid of the carrots and onions and replace those with like the lentils for sure and mustard or something along those lines, something.
Yep.
So I added all that back in there. Went and went to start testing it instead of doing a gradual like I was doing it. Doing a couple and then testing and then doing a couple and then testing. Well, and it started doing its load to 60% thing, sit there and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin because it was doing its weird getting hook up, catching up on some texture thing with the fucking alfalfa. And there again, I hadn't even messed with the alfalfa, so I was mad. So I give up on it again. I'll get it figured out yet. But I am really happy. One of the things I did figure out. Remember how I always talked about how we didn't, and I didn't do this Friday like I should. I haven't updated the commodity prices because corn should not be at 10.99. I did get the 110 error fixed on here and got the new one uploaded. So corn prices, oh no wonder when it redid everything it changed shit. So I suppose I'm gonna have to make it a point to change shit now. Should not be increased by 1.25, I don't think. But anyway, as you can see, as I increase like wheat for here, it's on 1. You can see because I added the 0.15. I added, yeah, I think I added the 0.05%, 15, and the 2 because it had 2.5. Anyway, I added by half, 0.5% for every up to half. I added some in there because I didn't have it because it went like 1% even price and then multiply by 2.5 and then 1.5 and then it goes. But anyway, so I added that and it was throwing fits because it wasn't in the L110 part of the mod. So I'd been working on that, and of course on the decrease it was at a tenth of a percent down to like 3/4, and then it went clear to half, and then it went to quarter. So I added all these other ones in here, So we got 55, negative 5.5%, 6.5. So I added all that, and you can see it's no longer throwing a fit. It's showing everything like it's supposed to. Because before it'd show that missing L110 in the mod disk. So, and I even added, because before when I'd done it and we got an update on this mod, the economy setting mod, we got an update on it. So I went ahead and so I had to go through and do all of it again. So I added, before I'd only added 2/10. Well, I went ahead and added 15, a tenth, and then a free. I didn't add the 05 but anyhow, I did add it and I fixed it so it's right. There are no more errors in it with what I had done. I was pretty proud of myself for figuring that deal out. But so don't go sell anything because by God we got. I didn't even check that the other night when I put it on there because I figured it saved it. But where I guess I fixed the L110, it started everything over again. So I got to go through and readjust all of our values, I guess. So anyway, I got that figured out. And another thing I got figured out farting around with the map the other day. Remember how I always said that I didn't like how when you sold stuff, when you look at the show price fluctuation like corn, how they got this high thing in January, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit, and then December and October and July is somewhat correct. June and July somewhat correct. Usually you hit, like now, looking at the highs and lows, they've been the last 2 weeks they fucking kicked the shit out of corn prices. So that's part of the reason why I didn't change everything on Friday like we were gonna. We'd made a point to, and today was Tuesday. I haven't even looked at commodity prices today. Today is also considered what they call turnaround Tuesday. Any farmer knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say turnaround Tuesday. That's usually the day that either turns around because it's been down and jumps up, or it turns around because it's up and drops like a rock. So, but anyway, traditionally, I mean, you can get a few spikes in harvest time, but nothing real major just because of, corn's not as good as we thought. Everybody's yields are down. Most of your high is traditionally from about April through July, and then August drops off a little bit because July is a big weather thing. You can get highs driven off of weather because of hot, dry weather screws with pollination when it comes to corn. So then and therefore you start getting USDA saying, "Oh, we're going to downgrade the corn 2%." It's instead of 80 to 90% excellent, we're now 78 to 88, 85% good to excellent corn. So you'll get some weather rallies in July. So I did figure out we're in the XML in the map that is all set. So I was pretty cool. I was freaking ecstatic. Cool, I can fix that shit. So that's something that'll come on the new when I can get everything figured out on the new version of the map. We'll have our price history highs and lows a lot more accurate to what is true. Yeah, I suppose, Ace. I suppose you could say they got cocky. I don't know. I didn't watch it because it went on any of the channels I had. I got stuck watching the other one, and I didn't even watch it either. So um, I just know going into the half, they had a hell of a good lead, and were doing a good job, and pretty much just control of the game. So I'm not. I watched some highlights on YouTube for the second half, and they just had a hell of a time.
Yeah, the start of the third quarter, it went right to shit. 17 points in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Right. So
And once the tide was turned, that was it.
yeah, it's hard to change momentum,
Yep.
especially when it's at the end of the game. So anyway, that's some of the updates that's going to happen to the map. And when I changed all this stuff, none of this has actually messed with the map. It was all fine. For some reason, it's fighting me on changing the growth calendar, which to me it shouldn't fight with me on that. That's pretty much straightforward. I don't know what its issues there is, but anyhow, that's what's as far as the map's gonna have to go. Damn sure be happy to get the onions out of here because for some reason the NPCs seem to think they gotta plant and have fucking onions, which just I know North Dakota didn't raise onions commercially, but I'm pretty sure of it.
Right.
And here we lost one of our our greats last night. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
ain't gonna say
Dang
a
it.
ain't gonna say a legend yet, but we lost a great.
Uh,
Probably one of the
he
last,
was.
probably one of your last of that genre of actual true country singers. He was a great
Yep.
patriot. So condolences to Toby Keith's
Yep.
family. This is a sad loss there. There again, I'm pretty sure Willie's down there in Texas going, my God, all these people, I just outlive everybody. I just cannot believe how Willie.
Yep.
I'd
Right.
you'd think Willie'd be gone by now, as old as that old fart is. But evidently there must be something behind smoking that weed. I don't know, but and we all know Willie. He was pretty good friends with Toby Keith.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
anyhow,
did you ever hear that song that Toby wrote about Willie? Never smoke weed with Willie again?
yeah, I heard that. Or I've heard that song.
Yep, tour bus songs. He has a whole album called Tour Bus Songs. Oh
Yeah,
my God, is it great?
I don't think I've
Yeah,
heard
it's
all of them. I know
awesome.
I've heard that one, and then of course, one of his biggest hits that I still not necessarily my favorite song, but that Red Solo Cup thing that was just all done on a
Yep,
joke. That was a joke. It was never even
yep,
supposed to turn out the way it did, but it did.
correct, right.
But it ended up
That
being
was one of those bus songs,
one of
basically, yeah.
his biggest hits.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been using auto driving course plate picking up my straw too. That big field. Taking
Well,
it to my fermenting silo.
let me get over here and we'll get some fertilizer and seed loaded up into the seed tender here.
Yep. More chaff. Oh, nice. Let's see how my.
And of course, I already fucked up because I'm too close. So I spin around here. That's because I keep forgetting that, Lynette, you are ace. That's why I keep forgetting. That you and I are going to go rounds about this. You texted me while I'm fucking live streaming and you expect me to read your damn text. And anyhow, sad we lost the great, but last time I'd seen him, because he was supposedly going to start touring again last summer, and I think he did some. And then he did
Yeah.
that special deal or whatever
The award show.
with Jason Aldean. Thank God he got that done.
Oh. Yeah, and they did a award show thing too.
And last time I'd
Where he
seen
sang
him, I was
that new
like
song.
looking at these pictures of him, like, my God, man, you look like you could tell he'd been fighting cancer because he was skinny and just.
Yeah. He lost a lot of weight for
And I would imagine
being Toby Keith.
stomach
Yeah.
cancer.
They
That's.
took out half his stomach. He said that he lost half his stomach. And then they take chemo and shit, and it's just acid. I mean, they just destroy it, you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had
trying
to
to save him.
had to laugh. My grandma had some thyroid issues. She was pretty healthy, and so was my granddad. But we had a few thyroid issues in our family. That was about it on my dad's side of the family. And she was in there, and they wanted to. It was overactive or whatever the hell it is. So they wanted to kill part of it, right? So it wasn't so overactive. So they give her some goddamn chemo shit for it, and she's sitting in her room, and Granddad's sitting there with her, and she had to take this fucking radioactive pill thing, and she comes, the guy brings it in to her to take, wearing his fucking suit, and all
Oh yeah.
these gloves and shit. And Granddad looks at him and goes, "You're wearing all that protective shit, but yet you want her to take this shit?" you know.
Right.
And
Crazy, ain't it?
Grandma said the same thing. She's like, she was pretty worried. If it's supposed to be safe for me to take, but by God, look at you assholes. And I don't think so.
Right. All
So,
hazmat suited up.
oh yeah. So it isn't necessarily cancer that kills a lot of people. Half the time, it's it's the chemo shit that kills a lot of people. Then why didn't you? Come on. Oh, you dumb thing. Come on, load with wheat, will ya? Oh, bullshit. Gotta love how sometimes these sons of bitches don't hit the trigger.
Right.
And more news that I need to talk about. So, we all know my disdain and how much I hate these guys and their fucking Patreon bullshit, right? Holy crap,
Uh-huh.
has that blown up a bunch in the last fucking week. Wow, there's been a shitload of leaks and people they're fucking over it. Last major leak was of some mods from Retro Mods, and he got all pissy and was throwing a fit on Facebook, and oh wow. Did he get his ass handed to him when he started throwing a fit in fucking Facebook on the comments? They're all like, well, if you want to hide behind a fucking paywall, you deserve it to be licked. And they're all like,
Right.
and he says, well, anybody who knows anything about my Patreon already knows it. It's just for testing and all this other stuff, and it's going to eventually get released. Then one guy pipes up and goes, yeah, eventually. When's the fucking eventually? Because you haven't released nothing for a year. He goes,
Right.
and so he's all mad and says he's going to step back from modding and all this other shit because of it, right? And come on, wheat. Are you gonna? So anyway, he's throwing a fit about it, and I don't remember if it was on Customs Facebook site or if it was on American. One Facebook group I was always a part of was American Style Mods and News for Farming Simulator because they always had the latest releases, and the guy did a good job. He always kept track of everything that was going on. Well, they come out with a big post on Sunday, and they kicked the Patreon guys right in the nuts again too, because there was a whole shitload here lately. That's been all it's been about. It's everybody advertising what their fucking new thing on Patreon was, and all this other stuff. Well, like the one guy who was all mad about retro mods. He's like, well, so all these knotheads are out there paying for this subscription every goddamn month, and then you turn around and you've got people like you who get mad because you get a leak because you won't fucking release it. What you're doing is illegal anyway, according to Giants' licensing. And so, and they go, so is it fair now to the? He says basically the people that you're being unfair now to isn't us people that don't do nothing anyway. That's those of us that aren't part of your Patreons anyway. We ain't the ones that fucking leaked it. Someone's in part of your Patreon account anyhow. So what are you mad at all?
Right.
Why are you mad at the regular community for? We're not the ones that did it. He says
Yeah,
basically,
I seen that.
and
Yeah,
and now that
that's right.
you're gonna step back from modding and stuff, he says all you're doing is hurting your Patreon members. So how do you like to be the Patreon guy that spent $25 a goddamn month and all of a sudden you ain't gonna get nothing because you're being a whiny ass bitch because you're doing something you should have been doing
Yep.
in the first place?
Yep. And like they said, it's not like it's one of us out here that leaked it. We didn't have access to it.
No. So
But yeah, we're the ones that will never get it because they're whining about it. But it's like,
and so anyway, that American style mods and news for Farming Simulator, he put out a big deal on Sunday afternoon that they were changing they're stepping back. They're going to keep the group open, but they're changing their format because he says we're tired of all our page turning into a fucking advertisement for Patreon accounts. He said obviously they don't agree with it. So and then within that same hour, they're going to keep putting out news and they're putting out links for free mods, but anything that has to do anything with Patreon is no longer allowed on that site, on that Facebook group. And within that next hour, I went back and was going to reread something I'd read during that, and when I went back, and it was gone already. They went through and deleted anything that had to do with Patreon already. So anything that had anything to do with Patreon was gone.
wow.
And I'm like, way to go, buddy. It's about fucking time some of these people like you stood up and said something besides people like me.
Right.
So the other foot's finally fell on the whole Patreon thing. And the and I ain't kidding you, man. Leaks have been going crazy in the last 2 weeks because of it. So is this going to be one of them deals where the goddamn seed ain't going to want to fucking load? Tell me, I got seed bought. I know I got seed bought. Yeah, I got 5,000 liters of seed, which probably ain't enough, but we'll buy some more. But anyhow, matter of fact, I wrote it all down because it was something I knew I wanted to talk about tonight. Not that I'm ranting, I'm just giggling. It's about fucking time. Couldn't, that's stupid that they have that crap in the first place. So.
Yep. Yep. If they were gonna do, legit, do what they say and release what they say and when they say, and people are still okay with paying to be testers, that's fine. That's up to them to spend the money. I don't care.
Well, yeah.
But like that one guy that sounded like he hadn't released nothing in like a year.
Yeah, Retro Mods hadn't released.
People are paying for that, and you never released it. I mean, they have a right to be mad.
And then there was another guy.
And it was probably some friend of a friend said, "Well, hey man, just let me have that, and I won't. I'll just keep it private." How did that work out,
It might be, but there's this new one out there that if you go to like FS22 mods, it's called Live Leak. That name says it all right there. That's how he's posting all of the uploads to like FS22, FS, Mod Hub, the third-party Mod Hub site. So that's pretty self-explanatory there when you read who the publisher is when it says Live Leak. What the hell's going on there?
Right.
Okay.
But he's still getting them from somebody on the Patreon.
Well, or he's did it
That's the
himself,
only way you can get it.
or he's doing
Or,
it
oh,
himself.
yeah. I see what you're saying. Got you. Right. That could be. He may be the subscriber that paid and then,
Might have,
yeah, I got
or
you.
either way,
Yep.
it
I
would-
see what you're saying. I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, absolutely right. Yep.
oh, I know why it's not showing what I want it to show. But anyway, I was laughing my ass off Saturday when I read all
Kind of
that crap.
giggling, were
Oh
ya?
yes, I was cheering them on. Way to go! Especially when I was reading the comments on RetroMod when he throwing his temper tantrum about all of it. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going, well, do I dare want to read any of the comments because it's going to be all about, oh, poor pitiful you. That's a shame. You shouldn't. That's a bunch of bullshit when people leak your mods and all. So I thought, well, it took me a little bit to decide whether I was going to read them. And then I started reading them, and it's like, holy crap, he was getting his ass handed to him about whining about it. And everybody's, and some of them were some bigger names that were I can't remember off the top of my head that were recognizable names in the community that were giving him the what for about it. So
There. Now my mower's getting repaired. So whenever you want to forward your time,
it'll be pretty soon. As soon as I
I'm trying to get a semi load of another load of chaff in the dang bunker.
oh
So it will,
yes,
you know.
of course you bought something, didn't you? God damn it,
Ooh.
you
Uh-uh.
you bought that fucking Kubota.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, you know why I had to buy the Kubota? Because the damn tethers are all European hitches. And if you
Oh,
use a American tractor, it's so low the front end drags in the ground.
that's weird. McKnight and I were talking
Because
about that.
that's the difference in the style, you know. So it's like,
Well, it
damn it.
is,
So
but it isn't.
some
McKnight
of
and
the
I were talking
tractors
about
have both hitches.
McKnight and I were talking
But
about that
no,
the other night, and part of it has to do with just it's a Giants thing. They have an upper and lower attachment point. It's an
yeah,
it's an and so anyway, because he was talking about how he was done fighting with Giants on doing mods that would work for console, and that was one of the things that he was fighting with him about on something he had done, and he was like, I'm over it. And because we got on the subject of how some people throw a fit about third-party web mod sites and that kind of stuff. When I said, well, shit, I've gotten stuff off a mod up that wasn't worth a shit. Oh, you cocksucker!
right.
It's gonna be one of them son of a bitches that ain't gonna take it out of the. I don't want to have to fill them this way every fucking time. Well, I guess time to get a seed tender bought. In my 140
Yeah.
grand I have. The bad thing, if I remember correctly, when I looked at the sell tractor house the other day, there wasn't anything on there.
No,
I,
there's no seed tenders in there.
I barely got my goddamn tractor bought. It was like towards the very end, my tractor for spreading lime. I didn't want to use one of my big four-wheel drives to spread lime with very bad. That's a bit overkillish. All right.
Right.
Now, sleep anywhere, Mom. What the hell is it? Control N?
Shift Z.
Shift Z? Hey!
I thought it was Shift Z, but give me just a second.
Nope, it is.
It
All
is
right.
what?
It's Shift Z. Tell me when you're ready. Are you
Yeah.
ready?
No, hang on. I'm unloading this chaff so it'll convert in my silo.
Okay.
I'm unloading right now.
So anyway, that's pretty much all the news I've got to share with everybody for today. uh, not
Right.
not necessarily in a ranting mood per se, but
Right. But still.
I still had to laugh about all that. I just thought it's about fucking time.
Right. It's emptying out. the moistures to take a minute, but there's 300,000 liters in it, so
Yeah, I know.
it's 45% left is all it's going.
I did zip up the unroad rate a little bit on them things too. I didn't change any of the capacities. I just left the capacities.
Yeah, they were pretty good anyway.
To Dell. Yeah, they're pretty, pretty up there.
Yeah.
I just hope I can get this shit figured out. Why the hell screwed me with the map with trying to fix what I want to fix to the map.
Right. All right. It's empty. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get off here anyway. Ugh.
There we go. No more nighttime crap. So let's see. What do I got to do? Yeah, well, I still can't do this son of a bitch because it's not going to be ready for till when? When's it going to be ready? Control J. Well, you mean if you click on the sun? Okay, maintenance complete at 9:23. Okay.
I need to. I forgot. I have to go around and shut all my stuff off.
Yeah, because it stays running as long as there's somebody in here.
I forget.
All right, I'll go check on my big buds and see what they're up to. Why are you stopped? Are we doing a jetter? You shouldn't be stopped. Fucking doing a sleep. And as soon as my big buds get done doing their plowing through the islands thing here, one of them is done. Cool. We're gonna test my theory on leasing ground and then returning the lease after fixing the stupid things with the plow.
All right.
Because as of right now, if we look at the map over here on 328, you can see all this stuff's been closed. It's been plowed shut, so it's not going to show it because it's still cropping there. But you
I
can
think I
see
got all my stuff off.
the brown, and you can see like 328 how I had him plow and he plowed. And I turned on Field Creator or whatever, so it plowed through all the islands that were there, and we got one more doing it. So as soon as this big bud's done doing his course play and plowing through all the islands here and turning it back into a field, I'm hoping that I can turn the lease back on this ground and it keeps everything the same, keeps it at the new state.
Right.
So
That'd be
now
good.
when the NPCs plant it, hopefully it'll plant the whole thing. And if it still plants it to the old, like here, like on 320, say, if I go and lease it and fix these, so you get this island out and this island and this, and then fix the edge here. If the NPC still plant it, so it's this way, you can still use course play. It just goes through doesn't recognize that the islands are there. That's what I'm hoping, especially in because some of these are really fucking bad. Well, anybody was watching me the other night trying to do 386 over here. How bad. And the mapper, when he did this, the dumbass ought to have his ass kicked for that in the first place. He should have. I get trying to follow Google Earth, but you still have to do a certain amount of mapping stuff to make it so it's more playable. He,
Right.
it
Right.
it would lock up trying to do course play on here because there wasn't enough room here. It was trying to figure out, on here it was just too much stupid little spots it had to figure out.
All right. I'm gonna gotta get off here. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Matt. Have a good one.
All right, talk to you later.
Good night.
Yeah, later.
So that's going to be one of the next ones I'm going to do because this field eventually is going to get bought anyway to add to my farm. I don't think it's, if I remember correctly, I don't remember if it's the whole quarter or not, but it's going to get fixed. Yeah, see, it's not even the whole quarter, it's just half the quarter. But it's going to get fixed to where this field's, you know, so I'm probably going to lease it. That's probably one of the ones next that gets done. This 154 is all one field. Right now there is a a mission on it or a contract available to do the soybeans that are on this field. But it's got a bunch of islands in it too that I'll guarantee you Courseplay with, they'll throw a frickin' shit fit with it. I mean, I don't know if it'll be as bad as what 386 was here, but I finally did finish doing it the other night. As far as combining it on my own, I ended up combining the whole about in here on my own, and then I set a hired worker, in-game hired worker, going back and forth this way, and I did all this here by myself. And so I squared this corner off here and had a hired worker coming this way. And then once this hired worker got up to this island, and then he started working in between here, I went ahead and finished this. And then he worked by in between here, and I had another combine working in here and finished this. So I did get it done, thankfully. But it was sure a pain in the ass. So I'm hoping my thought theory behind the leasing them and going in and fixing the field's edges and stuff, and then returning the lease, it'll work. I'm hoping we will. We'll find out after this big bud's done doing this one. Is he running? We need to shut off, buddy. You're getting low on fuel. And now I need to shut off the alt here. And let's see, that said 9 something for time wise, didn't it? Let's zip up the time here a little bit and we'll get us up. Let's get the time up to about 10 o'clock. And then we'll probably, because I got to get to liming my fields before I can plant wheat. And I need to get my wheat planted. Great demand at the grain flour mill. For what? It's nice that you tell me there's great demand. What the hell's it for? Well, let's go. Let's go 0 for now. There. So, are you fixed? No. I thought it said 9 something. Maintenance complete at 9:23. Or is it 9:23 tomorrow? Oh boy. Well, you son of a bitch. You gotta love whoever invented Lumberjack mod. Alright, fine. We will use this big beast to go spread lime with. A little bit of overkill, but I guess it's got a PTO on it, so we'll get her done. And I see my buddy Kadirk, he's got some new stuff come out finally. He was off for about a week, and He fell by the wayside. He couldn't handle it anymore. He had to jump on the bandwagon, I see, and do Tahitian County like everybody else is doing. Maybe I ought to load it with some lime before I take off here. Suppose maybe. Suppose. Don't do me no goddamn good take it out of the field without loading it. Yes, fill with lime. So how's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing all right. Their first of the week's going okay. Weather's fine. It's not been quite as nice here as what it was last week as far as here, because last week it was in the 60s. This week it's in the 50s, but still nothing to bitch about for the first week in February. And we're probably not going to have a hugely long stream tonight. See, I started at 6:30 and we're at 7:30, so I don't know, we'll stop at 8:30 or we'll stop at 9, somewhere in there, 2.5 hours. It's not going to be one of them till 11 o'clock my time things. And you motherfucker, Norton. Come on. So what is it? Shift backslash changes cubic yards, pounds, or tons. Let's go tons. 52.9 tons, which is probably a little unrealistic, but I did zip up the capacity of this thing because nothing drives me nuttier than going 5 feet when you're spreading lime and being out already. Because I hate how they do lime in this fucking game anyway. It's stupid. They treat lime like it's a goddamn, like it's fertilizer, and it's not. Lime changes the pH of the soil. You don't have to spread lime every year. Not whatsoever. Matter of fact, where I work, we've spread lime never. So let's see. We had sorghum, I believe, was in 25. Oats was in 26. Wheat was in 27, and soybeans was in 28 last year. And I didn't put the rotation thing on here like I thought I had done. Guess I forgot. Oh, we'll probably put wheat. You really want to follow soybeans with corn. That's some of your best corn yields, but I'm not sure I want 28 to be corn. Holy shit. That's an awful big field of corn, but we might do corn there anyway. Let's put, I can't remember if 26 was wheat or it was oats. Son of a bitch. Son of a bucks. So, we're down to one person watching. Boy, nobody likes my streams, I guess. It must be just too much for them. Must be too much for them. Well, either way, maybe we'll put wheat in 25. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, we need to go spread some lime-ish. All of them need lime spread on them, but we'll spread lime on 21. Ended up using this big-ass tractor anyway, because my other one's sitting in there getting frickin' worked on. That ain't about like real life, ain't it? Just about the time you goddamn need it, it's broke down. And it's not something as simple anymore as a fan belt. And I really ought to do the harvest contract on that field. It actually pays. I think it's like $500,000 what it pays on top of what you get off of it for your share of the crop. But my 3 littler combines, that take for fucking ever, and them stupid islands on there is not going to be very conducive to horseplay, I don't think. But there is a shitload of harvest contracts. There's a lot of contracts to do, period. So that's why I've been doing a few cultivating ones here or there to kind of keep my money up. I need to get, I suppose after the stream tonight, I better go through and check commodity prices and get that changed. It means I updated that mod and it changed that. And here we go, here we go. I really like how this field turned out after plowing it up and straightening it up and fixing the edges and making it so there was no islands in it. It turned out really nice. I'm actually pretty happy that all of my fields I've reworked turned out. Alrighty. Such is life. It sure the hell is, Lynette. Sure is. Course play. Create job. Course play work. Open close generator. If I remember correctly, one headline's enough because it's like 42 meters, which is how many fucking feet? It's not a stupid game. Why the hell they can't have all that shit already in the fucking game? You have to have mods and other kinds of odds and ends bullshit to change all that shit around. Meters to feet. 42 meters is how many feet? 137 feet. So this mod. Oh, hey, right there it tells me. You dirt. I was right. 137.8 feet. So we're going to do one headland, one tool. We'll do headlands first. And we'll do sharp, even though I think they're going to automatically be smooth. Counterclockwise. 5%, even though I don't need to. Alright. Generate fieldwork course. And see, look. See? Yeah, clean them fields up like they're supposed to. And look how quick it made the thing, and it looks good, looks nice. Ain't gonna screw up. Yeah, alright. Now, I'll whip you around here. And get you to going. And with my meager $106,000, I had bettered go see if I can find me a seed tender slash lime tender, fertilizer tender. First waypoint. Get you going. And then that means I did my stupid files thing because I have the new, had the new uh, lime texture in the game, or downloaded in my in-game main game folders, so it looked better. I like the new lime textures I had way better than these ones because it was a lot lighter. It wouldn't show it was like a blanket of white. It would show it as there was some white particles. And I can see it's doing its weird texture thing when it does the whole. Oh, I know what I need to do here. Zip up the speed because it's supposed to go 18 mile an hour, I thought. never did change this tractor like I usually do. It's because ever since I bought it and all the work that's been done, I've been doing myself with it. Raise tools late, lower tools early. Now it's 5.2 acres, but I had 500 and something. I don't remember. I had quite a few acres when I was doing when I was plowing with it. It was a bit overkill. But the other one's in the shop, so let's see. Time to go look at Tractor House, which if I remember correctly when I looked at Tractor House earlier. Oh, well, it did not have any seed tenders or fertilizer tenders on it that I remember correctly. Excuse me. So tonight after the game, it might be one of them. I wouldn't mind having that. The bigger anhydrous injector toolbar. It's too bad the class color wasn't one more like Steiger. We'll probably leave it blue. But I'm not buying that. Getting distracted by something else here. I am looking for a feed tender. Whether it be the new Tempty we put in here for seed slash fertilizer slash lime, or the convey-all, or even a little pull type, I guess. That was about stupid. They're all pull type. Bumper pull or gooseneck there. Doo -doo -doo. Yeah, I've got to make a decision what I'm gonna do now that there's one, the bumper pull one. There's the in-game convey-all. 55 grand, 5,000. Okay. Note to self, those are there. You can haul lime with my grain cart, which that is just not very realistic, but you can. But I might, after the stream tonight, I usually try to download the save game every other day anyway, or something along those lines here lately. I might download the save game, delete the sales, and re-upload the save game, and then it'll repopulate the sales. Not saying that there ain't anything in here that's not good for sale. Like these goofballs that are liking the Dakota Super Bee stuff. Not my thing. Not really into the Super Bees. Or B train or A train, whatever you want to call them. Sprayer support. We might have to buy that in-game son of a bitch. Because we're already almost to the end, and that's all I'm seeing. All I am seeing. And I see my chat's dead again. I do like this plow. This is a nice mod. I wish it was a little bit scotch whiter, but and I'm not saying that just because it's a John Deere. I just like this mod. There's hardly any troubles with this mod. I don't use it as much as I'd like to because it's not as wide as the 5 section. See, the 5 section is 20 meters. This is 16.7, which is, there again, I'd have to convert it. So that's the part of the stupid fucking game that you should be able to go into your settings and say, I want English measurements, period, meaning everything's English. From pounds to feet to bushels to gallons to tons, all of it. All should be selectable in the game. Shouldn't take someone like Thunder to do the unit convert mod when they could incorporate it in the game. It's just part of the XML in the game. Well, I don't remember how much that Tempty is new. Come on, where the hell you at? I know you're in here. I'm getting pretty close. There they are. Oh. And I don't particularly like the bumper pole when it comes to these. I prefer there, the gooseneck. But it don't haul very fucking much, especially when you're trying to haul lime. I mean, this is great for hauling seed or whatever to a regular planter. It's still not even real great for using it on an air drill. You're better off with something like this for the air drill, because then you can have it's got like 6 compartments in it. You could put 2 compartments to dry fertilizer and 4 of them to seed, or 3 and 3 or whatever. That depends, but this works better for all together. But there's a modded one that's better than the in-game one. I don't know if that's under auger wagons. See, here's the modded one. Basically the same model as the in-game one. It's just got different capacities and different unload rate, I think. Especially since I tweaked with it. Friction on its tires so it won't slide sideways when you go around a corner. See, $110,000. Ugh. And 12,000. The Tempty's 74,000. So this is what I was hoping was going to be on sale. I don't think you're going to see a chrome tarp usually. But that's the default, what it defaults to after I added the colors for the semis in it. Buy shit from Amazon. Huh? It's all small. I didn't buy anything from Amazon. I'm looking at Tractor House. Anyhow, you see a few of these around here. I might buy the small one just because of the money wise. Or the in-game one of these because it's 55,000 here. I don't know what I want to do. Don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. Wish that thing was. Let's see. What shall we do here? What shall we do? Because we got all kinds of contracts. I'll prove it to you. I have an active cultivating one. 386 is active. Oh, I didn't want to take the goddamn thing. I just wanted to see if there was one. Oh, I know why I wanted to see if there was one. Because I was going to see. I know I did that. The other test was to find out if you do a cultivating contract, if you can plow all that shit up too, or if it won't let you because it says you don't own the ground. Excuse me. Let's go find out quick. See, like I said in my, I don't want that one unhooked, I want that one unhooked. Like I said in my caption for my stream about, will we get beets planted or not? Because right now, no. Thing about this map, you get into certain seasons, it's not taking 5 minutes to do one season each. You got a lot going on. Because like I was talking about, as we were showing, like I was showing you. Let me finish where I started, right? You dummy. See these? Look at all these cultivating contracts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-ish, because I could have miscounted 25 cultivating contracts. A whole shitload of fertilizing contracts. Look at all them contracts. Harvesting contracts. There's a bunch of harvesting contracts. And some of them pay pretty good. Some of them don't because they're not very big. 18 acres to harvest peas. $77,000 for cotton, which cotton makes big money. This one's harvesting wheat, field 1. But what is that field that I was right next to me? It's 383. I think the harvesting contract on 383 is like 500,000. Let's get down to 383. See what I mean? We got all kinds of harvesting contracts. 383. Yeah. I was a little off by a couple hundred, by 150 grand. Either way, $350,000 for that, for harvesting that. And you get to keep 182,000 liters. There's something else I need to make sure that didn't change. And why the motherfucking hell that keeps changing that? And this is supposed to be 40, not 20%. Alright. There. That'll change. That'll change that. See, I was right. I thought it was supposed to be almost 500,000. That's what I thought. So 415, and if they take into account how much you get to keep for crop-wise, it's 519 grand. That's if you were to sell it right as you got it given to you. But so there's plenty of harvesting. There's liming contracts. There's plowing contracts. 184 grand. There's money to be made on this map. 134, 143. Matter of fact, if I make more money on doing doing contracts on here than you probably will with the spraying contract. There's a sowing contract of they're actually going to plant wheat. That's fucking smart. It's a pucky color for a semi trailer. Not if you want it to match your semi. Anyway, I really should do. What do we got from around me? Any other the 300s? Cause okay, 384, but that's cotton. 389, 390. Them are all here. 388. I don't have any corn heads yet though. I think that's corn. No, it's not. Sunflowers? Or is that wheat? That's wheat. Ooh, maybe we'll do this contract. Close to the road. All I have to do is drop a point. And course play wouldn't fucking go totally nuts with that one. I mean, this will fuck with it some here. How much does 388 pay? 388. 80,000? That's not horrid. Guess what? We're going to do that contract. Or at least we're going to set up to do that contract. Oh, I've already done 2 jobs for him. Cool. That means that when I start, the reason why it's important to keep track of these is because the more jobs you do for them, when you go to buy ground from them, they give you a discount. And that contract is for him too, so I'll have 4 done when I get done doing these. Alright. Yeah, let's go over here, and I want to see if, and C needs to be refilled. Fucking out of lime already. And that frickin' lime deal, I know it's set at 0.75%, not a full percentage. I want to find out mind you, it's just an experiment. If I can still plow up fields even though I'm doing a contract for somebody else. Okay, so need to hit the allow create fields. Did I do that? So even though I'm doing a contract, it will still let me. Oh, cool. Okay. That's good to know. Because I can do contracts, and while I'm doing contracts, not only am I getting paid, I can fix the goddamn fields while I'm doing contracts. And like this one, what I found out is if you go around the outside of the field, make your outline that you want. You know, I square this up, make this outline all around here like so, and fix this outline. And I think farmland wise, I can come in here around all this, come around this, and square this off here. And I can probably leave that. I mean, later on, if I buy it, I bought it later on. You could probably just come clear across here and leave this. I don't mind an island if they're a group of trees, but where they're nothing, I can square this off like so, or even like so, you know. And then when you do course play, if you make an outline like this, and there's nothing in here, you do bypass islands. And when you do a bypass islands, it just runs a course through those islands anyway. And if you leave your leave your plow, or if you have the cultivate uh, uh, cultivate allow field cultivator, whatever the fuck, field create cultivators or whatever mod, you turn that on, and even if you have course play running, it'll plow out all the stupid islands that aren't supposed to be there. So, and this mod, I forgot I changed this road speed on it. And ever since an FS22, they added transmissions on here, and manual where you can shift yourself thing, which is fine realistically, but it really screws with just changing speeds. So I'm out of lime. I have got to make a decision. I guess, as much as I don't want to buy the in-game one. Or, how about I do this? I didn't think about that. How much does this haul? 80.8 cubic yards. This hauls 700 bushels. What's it say? I think this other one hauls more. What I will do is I'll lease the son of a bitch. How's that sound? I forgot all about leasing. How much is it to lease it? 5,000? Yeah, we'll lease it. And then, guess we'll get the old Pete over here. And yes, I bought that seed caddy, seed tender, commodities cart. Actually, that's a proper name for that. It's called a commodities cart. Those carts that they pull around behind air drills. It's called a commodities cart. I bought it with that other one, only they didn't have it. But it didn't have a toolbar to go with it. But it was a good deal, so I bought it, and in hopes that I can get a toolbar to go with it too here after a bit. All right. All right. You son of a bitch, rolling this fucking semi. I'm gonna have to work it over again. I do not like how it rolls, or it doesn't stop. It stops weird. 8 o'clock. I think I'm gonna quit my stream in half an hour. Ain't fucking anybody watching. What the goddamn hell is with not having very many viewers, especially when I had pretty good viewers here last week. Hard to grow a channel when your live streams only have one fucking person in it. Oh, where all my normal guys are at. I don't even have any of my moderators in here. Especially for this time of year. Usually this time of year you have definitely decent views because not everybody's out fishing and not everybody's out. Oh shit. Takes a lot of line when you're liming. I hate the whole fucking line thing. God, I hate it. So I only have one viewer. Most likely it's Lynette. Wonder where everybody went. Where everybody's at tonight. It's nice to see Chad this morning early. 8 o'clock my time is 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Central time, and 7 o'clock Pacific time. There still should be plenty of people watch time wise. I don't know. We're going to quit at 8:30 tonight. Because I'm not going to waste my time. And I ain't even been ranting. I ain't been even an asshole tonight. Then again, I guess we don't have anybody in your chat egging you on. That makes a difference too. Oh, the other thing about this stupid thing is that sometimes the trigger for each compartment on this particular mod sometimes is tricky. As you can see, I rolled past it. So yeah, I guess in that case, if I quit in 20 minutes, we probably won't get any wheat planted yet anyway, because I ain't got the thing limed. So the only thing about this Meridian bin complex site, whatever the hell they're calling it, what I really wished is right here where the two dry stuff storage is at, they would have like an auger out for it to unload for that point, and then like a liquid thing separate, or at least something up there. That way it would look a little better than just pulling up alongside it. It would be a lot more realistic. The cooking show was bomb. Uh-huh. Well, tonight I had leftovers from yesterday, which yesterday's was I put a pork roast in the crock pot while I went to work, and I made mashed potatoes in gravy because I knew I was going to stream tonight, so I didn't want to have to cook tonight or try to figure out what I was going to have. So it's a nice thing about leftovers if you have good leftovers. Oh, come on. Hit the goddamn stupid frickin' trigger, you son of a bitch. And then I had creamed corn. Come on. Wow, the trigger's that far off? Okay. Well, I was worried about that particular stream because it covered all kinds of shit that night. From the cooking part of it was fine, but some of the other stuff later. Like my mother and that crap. I don't know. Once you spill your beans on the interweb, it's always there. But anyway, it is what it is. Didn't say anything that wasn't the truth, or didn't say anything that isn't how I feel, so. Come on. Really ought to straighten this fucking road out right through there. Look at that, turn signal works even. Yeah, well, you know how I feel about beef stew. Ugh. Ugh. I don't know what the hell it is about beef stew, but that's one thing I cannot really stand. I have no idea why, because I love beef and I like potatoes and I like most of the stuff that's in it. I don't know what it is about beef stew. I just never have cared for beef stew. Mm-mm. I'm gonna take the time to make fucking beef stew. I'd much rather have chili. I don't like vegetable beef soup either, because all it is beef stew thickened. I'd much rather have beef and noodles over mashed potatoes. I don't know. To each his own. Everybody's got their own certain preferences, but that's what's weird. Like I said, it's nothing in beef stew that I don't like per se, because I like potatoes and I like carrots, and except for when we had it at the fucking school back in the day, and they put that goddamn fucking macaroni in there. God, I hated it when they did that shit. Fucking macaroni and beef stew. Empty already. Holy shit. Okay. See, that's why you were asking me about how to have a beef cut up the other day or whatever. And mind you, $1,700, $1,750 for a half is a fucking highway robbery. You can probably go buy a whole alive beef for that, especially a steer. Yes, goulash. I'm not huge into goulash, but I don't mind it. It's not one of them things I make all the time. My daughter really loves goulash, so. But I also make it different. I make it thicker. The traditional goulash. It's not as runny as some, or I should say the traditional American goulash, because goulash is actually the true goulash is Hungarian, and if you look up the true goulash Hungarian, excuse me, recipe, it's nothing like the way we make it with the whole macaroni and oh you whatever macaroni and tomato sauce and the stuff that we put in onions and a green. I think it's got green peppers. Anyhow, the way Americans make goulash is not how the actual true Hungarian goulash recipe is. If I remember correctly, the true goulash recipe doesn't have macaroni in it. You don't use hamburger like we use. I think it's actually got chunked up pieces of beef in it. Right, and that's pretty much goulash. I've heard people. That's again the difference between you go from Minnesota to Nebraska to Texas to Georgia to same fucking thing. Everybody calls it something different though. That's just like sloppy joes. I grew up, it was sloppy joes. There are parts of the world that it's called yum yums. And I think there's something else. It's called something else in other parts of the world too. Speaking of that, I haven't made homemade sloppy joes in a while. I usually cheat and use manwich. I know. Can you believe it? Me use manwich as opposed to making homemade sloppy joes. Especially after going on my rant about making homemade spaghetti sauce the other day. Anyhow, I know how to make homemade spaghetti sloppy joes. I just don't do it very often. I don't make it very often anyway. My daughter don't particularly care for it that well. I don't mind it once in a while, but I think there's better ways to utilize hamburger than sloppy joes. Well, I tell you what, precision planting and certain maps sure screws with the textures and how. That's the reason why it's doing what it's doing when it's doing the automatic rate. That's why it pops over and shows what it needs to and then drops off. Part of it has to do with how the map got set up, and part of it has to do with precision farming screws with it sometimes. Sure wish the hell we'd have got an update to precision farming. Well, they always said we were going to get it, but we sure as a fuck didn't. But no, we got a fire truck and bus DLC instead. Dipshits. No, we won't fix the farming simulator precision farming. We won't give you another update to that like we said we were going to. We'll give you the premium edition with rutabagas and beets and carrots and two-row equipment. Why, thank you, Giants. That's exactly what we didn't want. Surprised you're fucking backing up. You've got plenty of goddamn room to turn around, you stupid ass. Shouldn't have to do two frickin' headlands for this particular 60%. So he used 40% out and 40% back. So when he gets back, you gotta have 20%. I can drop the unload the other two on him. Yeah, see, I need to redo that texture in the in-game file because they're using the in-game folders for the dirt files. And it's not solid white. It shouldn't be solid white. It should be more speckled. I like the other texture better. I'm not planting anything. I'm spreading lime. Venison. Ugh. Spreading lime. That's why it looks white. That's not a planter. That's a fertilizer spreader for spreading lime or hard or solid fertilizer like solid commercial fertilizer. little granules. I don't mean solid fertilizer like shit, because that's it could mean that, but that's not what I mean. What the hell's wrong with why not? Hmm. Gonna have to check into that so I can give him out a shout out here next time. I'm not gonna say too much if I don't know what's exactly wrong. But little Miss Brooks had something just pop up about why not. Hopefully he'll be okay. I'll just say that much. Jesus Christ, there's still only one person in here. I cannot fucking believe it. Why the hell has freaking streams have been so freaking low lately? It's the other reason why I didn't stream Saturday night. Besides working on the map and losing track of time, it's like, well, who gives a shit if no one's ever going to show up? But that's no way to think. You can't think that way either, because some keep doing it. At some point in time, people will start filtering in. Okay. And I need to probably get you guys started on that contract at some point. Oh, I think he's done. Cool. Yeah, and see, if I was spreading hard granular fertilizer, it would be hard to see it. And in all reality, when you spread lime, it's usually not quite solid white like this either. So I said I need to change that texture folder file in the in game, because that was one of the ones that I know I changed and it didn't screw with stuff. I don't know what the hell I changed the other day that screwed things up. All right, so I need to finish. Come on, there's still a little bit left in that number 4. See, that says, all right, number 5, number 6. Okay, there we go. That hopefully is enough to finish them last 2 passes. I hope. See what I mean by you go through a hell of a lot of lime when you do that stupid shit in this game? I don't know what it is about liming, but I absolutely have a major disdain for liming in this fucking game. Especially when they make you do it every couple years when you shouldn't have to. Do it once. Treat it like freaking like fertilizer, and it's not. All right. So where are you at? Wow. There we go. Should be enough to finish. While I go get another load. Well, I seen it jump up to 3 and then immediately drop back down to 2. Must be these people that do searches or whatever, and they pop in and they don't like what they see and they don't stay very long. Oh, it's not what I thought it was. Okay, whatever. It's all right. I can hear the cat scratching at the door. She wants in. She's gonna wait another 5 minutes. What video? Ah, damn it! What do you mean veggie all? Get the hell over here! Come on. What happens when you read your frickin' chat and try to drive at the same time? Venison, elbow macaroni, tomato soup, veggie all. Veggie all. Okay, what the hell is that? Top of Velveeta. Which it all sounds pretty good to me. I don't. I make. I make a applesauce meatballs. Is what they're called. I haven't made them in a long time. I should make them again. And for the gravy part of it, that's pretty much tomato soup that you take pound, pound and a half of hamburger, um, diced onions, garlic, salt, pepper, and a cup to a cup and a half of applesauce. And you mix in with all of it, and you make fist-sized meatballs. And put them in a roasting pan. And you could put breadcrumbs or instant oats in it if you wanted. It don't call for it, but anyway, put it in a roasting pan. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh shit. Bonnie. Bonnie. Bonnie Wani. If she's in, not, well, that's what she's, her name's supposed to be. There are times she's called something totally different. Come on, hit the trigger. Why the fuck is it that far back, you goddamn thing? But anyhow, oh my god. Yuck. That's also the one that's got that nasty goddamn lima beans in it, too. Ugh. Not many things I don't like, but that's definitely one. I hate fucking nasty lima beans, and I cannot stand canned potatoes. If I was going to do that, I'd get the frozen vegetable mix that's got carrots, peas, and corn, and green beans. I cannot stand that canned veggie mix. Yuck. There's not really any particular canned vegetables I care for as far as store-bought canned vegetables. I can tolerate canned sweet corn. I don't mind canned green beans, of course. French style is more my. I like French style better than I do regular, but you son of a bitch! Suppose you're gonna be clear to the fucking back. Or turn around and go the other way to catch those. For some reason, not want to trigger those two. Well, number 2 and number 3. But when it comes to regular canned vegetables, like I said, sweet corn, green beans. I like cream corn. Once in a great while, I can do canned beets, just for something different with some butter and salt and pepper. But most canned vegetables are fucking nasty when it comes to store-bought canned vegetables, especially potatoes. And I cannot stand lima beans. Ugh. Peas, I don't like canned peas Because I hate the mushy sons of bitchin' tasting. I want frozen or fresh peas. I just can't stand that mushiness of canned peas. But anyway, like I was talking about the applesauce meatballs, you mix all that together. Salt, pepper, garlic, whether it's dry, fresh garlic, just garlic powder. And of course, like I said, with my hamburger, I like to put some more Worcestershire sauce, the W sauce in it, a little bit of liquid smoke, just to help season the meat. And like I said, cup and a half of applesauce. It's a very moist meatball. And then you take a can of tomato soup and mix it together with equal parts, equal can of milk. And there again, where you can't have fucking regular milk. I can't imagine how it tastes with almond juice, because that's vanilla flavored shit. Have you ever had lactose and free? You ever try to drink a lactose free stuff? At least it's fucking milk. It's like some of the shit you want my recipes for. I can't tell you because you're so goddamn allergic to everything. Oh, come on, hit the fucking trigger. You son of a bitch. Yeah, W sauce. Also known as Worcestershire sauce. That's what everybody calls it, and that's not what it's called. Worcestershire sauce. There's no Chester in it. Even though we all say Chester. Oh, come the fuck on, Trigger. Where the hell are you at? Well, there it is. Son of a bitchin' thing. Are you gonna get the other one or not? Let me guess. I'm out of fucking lime already. See? Ah, fucking lime. It's a good thing it didn't cost an arm and a leg for lime, but Jesus Christ. Come on, finish filling, because I don't think that compartment's not full. And you rolling son of a bitch and piece of shit truck. Oh, come on. So anyhow, you pour that tomato soup milk mixture over the top of the applesauce meatballs in your roasting pan. And you want it so they actually touch, you know, so you don't necessarily need a huge roasting pan, but they'll fit in there all nice and they touch. And you bake it for, I don't know, 50 to 55, about an hour on 350. And then you make mashed potatoes and whatever you want for your favorite vegetable, and there you are. You take the meatball and you eat it, and then you use the tomato soup mixture as a gravy for your mashed potatoes. And it's really good. It used to be one of my favorite things from my actual mother that she would make. Ah, fuck you, you son of a bitch. I don't even mess with that anymore. I got other shit to do. Like this bad boy. is done. So run you over here, and we're gonna release this lease on this thing and see what happens. Hopefully all my work, because I screwed around with this the other night all night long, Sunday night. In real life, lime changes the pH of the soil. That's all lime does. It's not a fertilizer. It changes the pH of your soil. So if whether it's alkaline or acidic, and that makes a difference on how plants grow, because it makes a difference on how there's a lot deeper in telling to tell you about exactly what it does, but it also changes the makeup of the soil so it absorbs fertilizers better somewhat. But that's what lime's used for. It just changes the pH of the soil more than anything. It's not, and I mean it's not wrong that we put lime out as far as the game goes, but the game treats lime as like it's a fertilizer, and it makes you lime all the fucking time when you don't have to. That's just like on the farm that I worked on. They haven't put lime down in 50 fucking years because they don't need to. Some of it has to do with some of it has to do with the irrigation water from the runoff. You know, because most of our irrigation water is runoff from the Rockies, and we get it from Pathfinder Reservoir. Um, that's where some of our lime or some of that comes from, as far as not needing to change the difference, change our pHs in our soil. In some places you do, but you don't have to do it every year. And sometimes you do it the places that you do it every year is because it's such a minuscule amount that it changes the pH in the soil when you put lime on, that you got to do it more than once in order to get it to change. But once you get it where you want it, usually you don't have to do it every year or every 2 years like this stupid game has it set up like. No, not all of Nebraska's soil is black gold. Minnesota's got way heavier, better, darker, blacker soils than ours. Although their problem in Minnesota is it's so heavy, they have a hard time drying it out sometimes. So if they have a wet spring up there, they have a hard time getting in and getting planted. Or that's why you see in places like Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and places like that where they like to. That's part of the reason why they harvest their corn earlier than we do, and they don't do the wait until it's dry enough in the field. And they do spend money on propane and dry the corn because they like to do fall tillage, so they can get that fodder started, the corn fodder started to be worked into the soils. So, because they don't do like here, we do strict. I mean, there's some people do some fall tillage, but not much. There's a bit a little fall anhydrous on it, but not much because most of the time we're still harvesting corn here. Out there, where they do it earlier, dry it, and they're done by the end of September, middle October. It gives them a couple weeks or 3 weeks before real bad weather, usually, to do fall tillage, and that's why they want to do fall tillage, so they can get that ground black again, opened up, get some of their fertilizer in the ground in the fall, because it has a tendency to be so heavy and wet in the spring that sometimes they don't get a chance to do much spring tillage before they really need to be getting ready to plant. Their window of opportunity sometimes is really minuscule. All right, so let's see what happens to these fields over here that I fixed. Where are they at? Oh, right here. When I return the lease on them, hopefully they stay the same. That's what I'm hoping. And that's this one here. And dissolve lease. Yes. Come on, I'm not leased anymore. I dissolved the fucking lease. Dissolve? Come on. Oh, you kidding me? No. Sometimes it takes a little while for the stupid... There we go. And it left it the same. Cool. Guess we'll see how they plant back. But that's good. So far it's good. And them two are done, but this guy's done too. And wow, we have some heavier soils around here too that are similar, but we don't have as much of it. I wish we had some heavier, they're just better soils. They hold hold the fertilizer nutrients better, that kind of stuff. So I mean, there's parts of it that's good, but there's parts of it that suck because of the whole. And part of what I know about it too is because of watching other YouTube channels. Like Larson's Farms, Millennial Farmers, those guys. They explain to you when you watch them. Millennial Farmer really explains well, part of the reason why they do fall tillage. I mean, farming from one end of the United States to the other is similar all over across it. I mean, you have different practices as far as strip till is getting to be a bigger deal. I really wish we could get our boss to switch to strip till instead of his weird minimum till thing that he's doing that's not right. We got a compaction issue that he needs to fix, but he won't fucking fix it. So our yields aren't as good as they could be. That kind of stuff. But as far as farming practices go, that's some of your differences is just tillage, and part of it has to be is dictated by the type of soils you're at, and climates. I mean, it's you do what you have to do for that area. What we do here don't mean some of the things we do here they do in Minnesota. Like anhydrous, that kind of stuff's all done the same. It's just the main difference is here we we don't propane dry any of our corn. It's all taken out of the field already dry enough to go into the grain bins. Whether it's a grain bin for storage on our farm or it's a grain bin at a local co-op or uh, grain dealer or whatever the hell you want to call it, or even a feedlot. Feedlots don't want the grain too wet either because they don't want it to spoil either. So. But anyway, with that said, looks like we're back down to just Lynette being in here, and it's 15 minutes past what I was going to stop at because I was right in the middle of something anyway. So that's it. I'm done for the night. There ain't been hardly anybody in here, so there ain't no sense in beating my head against the wall trying to put out content for people that aren't going to enjoy it. So thanks for Chad and CDW being in here. Ace, glad you were in here for a little bit. Thanks for coming in, Lynette, and hanging out for a little bit. Thanks, Kobe, for a little bit you were here. There again, probably no shout outs tonight because there ain't much sense in it. At some point in time, hopefully, Morris will start getting his ass in here and get going again, too. I know he's busy and got a lot of family stuff going on, too, but we're getting into the third week of the month, and he's going to be behind, especially where we got Matt in here working all the time. And I've been in here about every day. There's been a couple days I haven't been in here because I've been working on mods, but anyway, thanks everybody for being here, and we'll catch everybody on the flip side. And remember, keep Riverside down.